24 karat magic in the air. He's so clear. Look out. Pop, pop, it's showtime. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Downtown. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Shut up, I'm wearing Cuban links. Designer mix. Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Know to give the color red the blues. Shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on. Put your hands up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air.
Good morning.
Look out. Second verse for the hustlers, gangsters, bad bitches and your ugly ass friends. I cannot preach. I gotta show them how I can get it in. First, take your shit, do your dip, spend your money like money ain't shit. Ooh, too fresh. Got to blame it on Jesus. Hashtag blessed. They ain't ready for me. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your hands up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. So clear. Look out. Everywhere I go, they be like, so clear. Everywhere I go, they be like, so clear. Everywhere I go, they be like, so clear. Now, watch me break it down like.
How is everybody doing this morning? Like the live, share the live, let everybody know we're here. Oh, I didn't even know it was her birthday. Sometimes it happens like that. Hopefully this gets everybody moving this morning. I know I needed it because I was up late. Echo stop. Good morning. Good morning. If you're a member of the team, please hit the daily heart me. If not, stick around and see if you like what I have to say. And if you do, join the team. The only thing that I ask is that every time I change a photo, that you like the live until you feel the heart's tail. And then take a break. Now, if you want to like the live at other times, that's fine. I do not care about the final number. I just care that we end up on the FYP and that all of the people who want to see my live taken down won't have that opportunity. How is everybody this morning? Thank you guys for liking the live. Good morning. Good morning. It's been a crazy one. So, I know I didn't have a live on Friday. I'm not going to get into it, but I got some upsetting news. Or I'm going to say potentially upsetting, but it was upsetting at the time. And I just couldn't pull it together. So I apologize. But if you come and you don't see me live, always go to my account. Or you could just harass DJ. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the prayers, the thoughts, the well wishes. I really do. But, we always got to cross a bridge when it comes. So I'm going to keep pushing because some of these people have gotten out of line. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Things go along fine. And then boom. That's why I always say we all face a peak and a valley. I'm not upset that you're in a valley. I'm upset that you choose to stay in said valley or you thrive in said valley. Shout out to Becky and Sam for that matter. Okay. We're at 100. So, we're going to talk about Danielle D. Some of you may not know her. Thank you, Harley. We got Rebecca or Becky or Dog Mama. Lisa, of course. Timothy Nash or that guy. D'Angelo Pickett, Detroit Nike. He is... I don't even know how to describe what he is right now. Sam F, Maggie F, Gabby J, and Wrench. Anybody knows Wrench's real name? Can you send it to me, please? Now, I want to make one other announcement. I am not eager to tell anybody where to sit, who to enjoy, what you talk about. Not my place. But I do have a hard line on doxing. If I find that you are doxing, I don't want you to be a member of my team. And I'll tell you why. Because the moment you get doxed, you're going to be upset about it. So if it's going to be something you're upset about, don't do it to anybody else. I don't care how deplorable you think they are. What's doxing? Doxing is revealing somebody's address or their phone number. What is public record is public record. And of course, anybody could look anybody up and get that information. But unless someone or an animal is in imminent danger of harm, don't do it on the strength that you wouldn't want it done to you. Don't show pictures of their minor children. Don't show where their mother, father, uncle, grandparent lives. We just wouldn't want it done to us. Like, let's have a standard. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Again, I don't care who you sit with, who your friends are, how long you stay there, what you talk about. Because everybody in here is an adult. No, and this is the thing. If I'm going to stand on the fact that nobody can tell me who to sit with and the like, I can't do that to anybody else. I like to stay out of the drama. I hear everybody, right? Oh, for sure we're covering Becky, but she will be last. She will be last for a very specific reason. So, let's get started. I want to start with Sam. Because some of y'all might have... I know some of you guys were in there. This is Sam. And I happened to be in his live the other day. So let's just start from the beginning. I saw Sam some time ago. He noticed my name, which I don't try to hide. Usually when I come into somebody's live the first time, if it's not happenstance, I go in as digital because I want them to know I'm watching. The whole name is Digital Deceivers, which means people who use technology to deceive other people out of their money and or resources. And I lurk in the shadows. So anybody who tells you that I am a digital deceiver has the name all the way wrong. But it's easier for people to say digital or DD, so no problem. So and y'all heard me tell Bree, I'll be lurking in the shadows, because that's what I do. Good morning to everybody who came in. Thank you for the heart me's. I appreciate it. And again, gifts are appreciated, not expected. And therefore, and if you know that what I try to do is recycle the gifts so that everybody can share back. So that TikTok recognizes that I've been valued. That's all. And then hopefully end up on the FYP. Because that is the goal. Well, one of them. That's the first goal. Because I'm trying to come across people who have never seen or heard me before. White Sox, please do not start. You was lame. I put some catnip out there for you. Don't cry now. Okay. And if you're new here, White Sox and Kira are absolutely a part of the show. Because they like to be. White Sox, do not start. And do not try to lay in my lap. Don't. Oh, Lord. Why didn't we do this for the first minute of the live? Okay, so the first time I came across Sam was literally the first time. I didn't get a message from anybody. Nobody told me about him. It was a random swipe. But he gave me, my spidey senses went off. And I was like, let me stick around. And as you know, I take notes. Especially when I'm coming across someone for the first time. Because I don't like to come here and talk to you guys off the top of my head. So much happens between point A and point B. I'm not trying to do that. So I was taking notes, and some of the things he said to me were weird. Not to me, but to the audience. So he's been homeless for 19 years. Now, clarification, he was kicked out of his parents' house at 19. I don't know why, what the circumstances were. He did not elaborate. So I can understand that 19, if you weren't mature enough, if you didn't have certain things set up in your life, you're going to be homeless at 19. But 19 years is a long time to be homeless. And I made the commentary that I said that I thought that at some point that's a choice. Well, the choice was that he was using rugs. And that became the priority. And so he wasn't concerned with housing because his goal was to just get to the next rug after next rug. Now, I said to him, I talked to him recently, and I said to him, it was still your choice. And he wanted to differentiate between choosing rugs versus choosing homelessness. It's still all your choice. Now, at some point, it becomes a disease. I get it. I appreciate that. And then, I guess, a little over 20 months ago, He got locked up, did 20 months, and I believe that he refound his relationship with Jesus at some point. I don't know when. And he says he's clean. And he is big, heavy, strong on his relationship with the Lord. I don't begrudge anybody that. If someone, in my opinion, if someone takes their spirituality seriously, that can be the basis for a great deal of transformation. So, I'm not going to knock you for that, right? But I came to you guys and I said, and I told you this, like I told you, 19 years feels like a choice to me. He often has an excuse for why things can't happen. He hasn't had an ID for months, and he uses not having an ID to excuse why he doesn't have food stamps, why he doesn't have Medicaid. And my thing is this: if you qualify for something like that and it could literally save your life, I don't care how many hoops I would have to jump through, I would jump through those hoops, because that could be your last line of defense. My commentary. So the other day, I happened to be swiping. Let me see if I wrote down the exact day, because I don't know, because I was flabbergasted at the conversation. It was the 31st, Saturday. So I literally am scrolling. Sometimes I don't want to see the scammers I see all the time. Sometimes I'm actually looking for, what do I call them? Bolos. Be on the lookout. Somebody that I'm seeing for the first time, I may not be ready to actually call them scammers, but they have my spidey senses going. While I do get recommendations from other people, I get messages, I see stuff in the Discord, I also find them for myself. I've proven it over and over and over again. So I don't even need to get into that. But I happened to scroll. Now, a couple, maybe a week or two ago, probably a week ago, I swiped, I saw it was him, and I kept swiping because I wasn't interested, right? This particular day, the 31st, I went to swipe. I landed in there for more than 1 second, and he said hello. So I said hello back. And he proceeded to tell everybody in his chat that I'm a liar and that I don't tell the truth. And he lumps me in with everybody else who may say stuff to him. So I got in the box. You know, that's one thing I do not like. You could call me a bitch, but a liar, I have no reason to lie about you, sir. So I told him, because I pulled out my notes, I told him exactly what I said. And I told him that I base it on the notes that I take. I don't just listen to, in fact, for him, I never listened to anybody else about him at all. And that my commentary was based on what I saw and heard exclusively. I didn't go to a snark page. I didn't ask a bunch of people, what do you know about him? That is how I do my commentary in my lives. Now, if I happen to know other things, I may add it in to further explain my commentary, but not in his case. He told me that I was lying about just strolling into his live. He's like, I've been doing this, I think he said 14 months. So he knows how the algorithm works. Sir, if you truly knew, you would know that I can randomly come across anybody. And I tried to explain to him that if you spend more than, let's say, 20 seconds in a live, TikTok is going to bring you back to that live because the algorithm assumes that you want to be there. I was a liar. We went back and forth about a couple of things. And then he said that I knew about him months ago and that I've been talking about him. And I tried to say to him, no, I'm not. So let me prove it to you. Yeah, he's the kind of person who splits hairs about what you say to make you seem bad. But let me just show you something real quick. So he told me that I knew about him months ago. And I told him, hey, Cass, honey, thank you. That I called him a bolo because it was my first time seeing him. And that it was May the 17th. He again called me a liar. And I thought about doing a video and I was like, for what? But during my live, I'm going to show you. This is what my notes look like. Just so everybody can understand. I'm not kidding when I say I take notes. You see that I wrote the bolo, A, which means the first one of the day. The same way you do 1, 2, 3. When it comes to bolo, it's ABC. He was the first one of the day. I clearly wrote that before I wrote his handle and his @ And then I took the notes from that live. What do I have to lie about, Sam? I said to him, if someone told me about you, what difference would it make to me if I told you, yes, someone told me about you? Why would there be a need to lie about that? I said to him, you want me to treat you like an individual and not like every other scammer on the app, but you get to lump me into everybody else. And he was like, of course I do. What? I told him that I even agreed with some of what he said about the Bible, and he tries to turn that around on me and say, well, if you're a true Christian, you're supposed to believe the whole Bible. Sir, the sum wasn't about the Bible. I believe the Bible, Generations to Revelations, and some of the books that I think got taken out by King James. However, the sum was for you, sir, because I only saw or heard a few of your beliefs, and I agreed with them. But I can't say I agree with you 100% because I don't know your entire spiritual category. But he tried to turn it around and make it seem like I didn't believe the entire Bible. Every time I said something, he turned it around to make it so that I either sounded bad, looked bad, or somehow proved that I was a liar. So for those of you who were in here that day, and for anybody else who may quote unquote hear that I'm lying, proof positive. Proof positive. And it was funny because how could I come up with the random date out the blue? Oh, well, he thinks that I've seen him months ago, so I'm going to say May the 17th. But let me just add to that. Because somebody might think, well, she could have went in and wrote that after the fact. Let me show you something else. You see what happened on May 19th? And again, I created that on the night of the 18th. 2 days later, I featured him on my live. Put 2 and 2 together. It was May the 17th that I saw him. It was May the 19th that I spoke about him. And that's all there is on that. So find someone else to call a liar. find someone else to rip apart. But, sir, it's not going to be me. Good morning. And it was funny because on one hand, he was upset about the number of people who came in when they realized I was in his live. Y'all understand something. When anybody is in a box and you follow them, at the top, it will show you such and such is in a box. So that people will come in because they see that somebody they follow is in a box. So on one hand, he was upset about it. Like, look at these numbers. Normally I have 10 to 15 people and now it's 100. But then laughed and said, with all of the gifts, I get 15% of it. You get views, you get 15% of the gifts. So what are you complaining about? Was it because that 100 wasn't going to turn into gifts to you? And he's like, as you can see, I'm not homeless. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now what are we going to do? Let's stay on this upward trajectory. Right. He was like, I get 15% of your gifts, You could get 50%. It wouldn't matter. That's not why I'm there. One last thing that one of his sycophants threw out there. Let's get to that. Because, again, when people say things, they need to understand. Someone called me a Pharisee. I doubt she even knows what a Pharisee is. But for shits and giggles, let's do it for ourselves. So, the original definition of a Pharisee was a member of an ancient Jewish sect. So, let's just start there. I'm not Jewish. I'm not a member of a sect of Judaism, okay? And furthermore, I'm a Christian. Jesus was born a Jew and created Christianity. So, it's one or the other. It's one or the other. But they were distinguished by their strict observance of the traditional and written law and commonly held to have pretensions to superior sanctity. They were self-righteous or a hypocrite. Not me. But the modern day view is that in the context of Christianity, again, a Pharisee is a Jew. But I digress. It refers to someone who is characterized by a show of outward piety, meaning they appear to be humble, spiritual, following Christ, pride, and a focus on rules and regulations rather than genuine faith and love for others. They are often perceived as legalistic, hypocritical, and more concerned with appearances than inner transformation. Now, I just want to go back to genuine faith and love for others. The scammers see that the love for others should only extend to them. So when I don't help you, I'm not a genuine Christian because I should be helping others. I don't see you as the only people that need help. My love for others are the people who dig deep into their pockets, take some of their Social Security money that they don't have to spare, and give it to people who are just going to beg the exact same thing the next day. That's who my love extends to. So I'm sorry if you see yourself as the only person who should receive love, but there are other people on the earth that need love too. And that's where I choose to extend my love. So you can be upset about it, but you can't pin me with that. Not at all, not a little bit. So when they say, oh, you're not being Christianly, yes, I am. I'm just choosing to love somebody else. Because if you are able bodied, you have access to resources, you know where those resources are, and you either lie about having them or you choose not to get them so that you can ask, my love doesn't extend to you. And I'm sorry you're upset about it. Well, I'm not really sorry. You can be upset about it. But my love extends to the person you want to take advantage of. Good morning, good morning. So, Sam, maybe one of your people are watching. Maybe one of my people will come across you and show you. And then you could come to the YouTube channel and watch it for yourself. But I'm going to need you and your fans to go sit down somewhere and try this with somebody else. I'm not the one. And nothing about what you say, how you act, how big you are, concerns me in the least. Oh, you just woke up? That's okay, Karina. It's early. Facts. Take a seat. Go sit down somewhere. In our family, we say take several seats if you're out of control. Take several. Okay. Who else do we want to talk about? Let's see. Okay, Wrench. Now, if you have watched Wrench for any length of time, or whatever his name is, I don't know, so I'm going to refer to him as Wrench. If you've watched him for any length of time, the roller coaster he has himself on is frightening. In part because he drinks a great deal. It is my unprofessional opinion that he suffers from anxiety or depression or something. And I remember how bad it got when the girl he really liked broke his heart. I felt for him because it obviously affected him a great deal. And he managed to get hotel rooms back to back to back to back to back. Like, nobody wanted to see him outside. So he amassed a group of people who I want to say 25% of want to see him fail, just like they used to do Lisa, where they would give her enough money to get rugs because they were hoping to see the train wreck happen on live TikTok. So the other day, he needed money for his hotel room. And he was explaining that he needed, that the room during the week that he has been staying in was $61 during the week. And on the weekends, it's $71. I believe it's a $10 increase for the weekend. And he was asking people for the money. He talked about, I guess, owing a late fee for paying something late. And he was able to get the money from his supporters. Some of his supporters, though, were like, the amount you asked for is way over the amount you should need based on what you said. He went in, he pays for it, and as he's coming back, he decides to tell Chat that he feels like he got taken advantage of, that she robbed him. Now, Wrench may not be the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but he has a fair amount of street smarts. He knows how stuff was going to go. If he honestly felt like she had taken advantage of him and taken his money, you think he wouldn't have went right back up there and said, you did me wrong, give me my money? You think he wouldn't have called the cops and say, I need you to go get my money? I don't want to have a controversy with her, but I need my money? But people are so swept up in the story, they don't even ask logical questions. They just run with it. Wrench also has a habit of playing music extremely loud for someone in a motel set of circumstances. Okay? And I often would say to myself, like, how is that possible? Why isn't anybody complaining? And then I thought to myself, well, maybe they put him in a part of the hotel where he doesn't have close neighbors. But on this particular night, somebody who works for the motel came and told him, you're disturbing your neighbors. Please turn it down. Wrench didn't care. And by the way, this is the new account he's going by. Railroad Revs BIGCH and Wrench Cannon 24. That's why you don't see the other one up here. Because he hasn't been using that one lately. So, yes, he did get fired. So, so he first got warned. He didn't listen. And I'm not even sure if he was drinking at that point, but I know later on in the evening he was drinking. So, the female manager, who based on what he said was relatively new, showed up and was like, get out. And he was like, well, I want my full refund. And she was like, get out and I'll give you your full refund. Ooh. What he thought she was going to say is, well, I'm not giving you your money back. So you can, so then he could go back and forth with her, well, I'm staying out unless I get the money. So she was like, if you pack up and leave right now without the cops being called, because he kept saying to her, call the cops, I'll give you your money. He could have taken the money and gone and got another hotel room. But then he changed it to, I'll turn the music down. So they were like, fine, if you're going to turn the music down and not create a ruckus, you can stay. They left. He went back in the room. He turned the music down. But then, instead of laying blame on himself, he tried to tell chat that it wasn't his neighbors complaining about his noise. It was trolls on TikTok. Why is it always TikTok's fault? And if you feel like there are people who are making decisions to alter your life that dramatically, turn it off. Turn it off. But the manager said that as they were walking there, they could hear the music. So even if a neighbor didn't complain, they knew it was too loud. Now this is the part that disgusts me. He's in the room, he's safe, he doesn't have to go anywhere for the night, and now there are people in his chat telling him to turn the music back up. You can't be serious. And they're like, F them, they owe you money. Call the cops on them. Listen, he wasn't eager to call the cops either. Because if he was, he would have called the cops when he realized that he had been taken advantage of. He tried to flip it and be like, see guys, they don't want to call the cops because they know. No, you didn't want to call cops either because you know. You know. So then he starts doing fireballs during the rest of the night, which again makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. You don't have two pennies to rub together, and yet you have so much money for alcohol on a regular basis. And so the people in the comments are buying him alcohol to watch the crash out. And I mean, his crash outs are impressive. So what happens the next day? Management is like, you know what? We're not putting up with him anymore. And according to somebody else, I haven't bothered to verify, he's been kicked out and trespassed on multiple properties. Somebody even said there's only one left, and that one is like 180. Ooh, sorry guys. It's only it's $186 a night. I agree with. Wait, who said that? I agree with you, Alicia. But he deserves some police interaction because he needs to grow up. He's not a child, even though he acts like one. So when the cops get there, he wants to try to act cool and tough. He did everything they said. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but he talks a lot of junk about other people. And then when the popo shows up, it's 100% compliant. So the police told him to clean up the room. Imagine how bad the garbage had to be for the police to tell him to clean it up. And again, there are people in the comments like, you don't work there. Why do you let the maids clean it up? Y'all, if it was a reasonable amount, I would say the same. Like, okay, they would clean it anyway. It had to be really bad. And I'm assuming it was probably a lot of alcohol containers. And he just throws them down. He probably doesn't even let anybody in the room so that they could clean it up on a regular basis. Oh yeah, concerning behavior 3 years ago. I'm not surprised. He hasn't grown up at all. And so sure enough, he's sitting in, I don't know if it was the McDonald's or whatever, but he was back at a local place and people were trying to figure out how to get him the $186 to stay in that hotel. I'm not sure if that's where he stayed, but he was in another hotel that people paid for, and y'all are going to keep paying for him because he's not going to get a job. Why does he need one? Long as all of his expenses are covered, he has a roof over his head. But he can't keep a job. He can't keep a hotel. What is he keeping? But y'all want to keep paying for him? Be my guest. Understand something. For the people who know who these people truly are and they choose to want to keep giving them their money, I'm not here to talk to you. I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to the people who feel like they're really being helpful. I'm here to talk about the people who may get suckered. So we gonna move on. Pimping ain't easy. Facts. But he thinks he's the man with his bird chest. always out like he's showing somebody something. Who? That guy. I mean, perfect name. That guy. Timothy Nash, aka True Knowledge, aka that guy. Oh, yes. Picture has changed. Everybody tap, 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 tap until you feel the heart stale and then take a break. I would appreciate it. So, wait a minute. I just remember something. Were any of you in the live where Find Out was playing the court recordings from their case with Gabby in the morning? Did y'all see she had 6 million likes? I was flabbergasted. I was like, girl, TikTok better give you some money on the strength of that 6 million, because it wasn't like there was 10,000 people in there either. Y'all tapped for your hearts, and I appreciate that you did. I was in there tapping too. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Anyway, it just occurred to me that she had 6 million, and I don't ever care about the end number. I was just impressed. Okay. So now Timothy has moved again. We talked about this the other day. He went from seeming like he was like in a downtown city area to now being in a very suburban wooded area, right? Now he claims that where he moved is very close to the things that he needed the most. So he was going to stay there. Now he also said no, I don't want to co-host with you. He also said that he was 30 minutes away from the new girlfriend and that how great she is and wonderful, but he doesn't want to bring his problems to her. I love how they are pious and understanding and want to look like the man in front of the woman they have. But they don't mind coming here and begging for money from the women that are on TikTok. Make it make sense. You want to prove to her that you have everything together? Then get everything together. Don't front while you're busy on TikTok begging. And you think somebody who knows her isn't going to tell her about it? So she could watch you beg on TikTok? So the other day, when he first got, around the time that he first got there, he told everybody he had a place to stay, but that he had to come up with $50 a week. Now he's saying he's homeless with no place to stay. Now, hopefully, people have gotten tired of his stories, of his nonsense, and stopped helping. But he doesn't sound urgent. He doesn't sound like he hasn't eaten in days, and he's like, oh, I come to TikTok to make me laugh. No, you don't. You come to TikTok for cash. And it's funny because I spent so much time looking at scammers that I don't even come to TikTok no more for a good time. I go to Instagram because that algorithm isn't as tainted as all of my accounts are on TikTok. Now, I'm not saying you can't still have a good time on TikTok, but for me, it's either somebody begging for money, somebody battling begging for money, or somebody selling something. Like, where are the dancing videos, the cat videos, the baby videos? Just gone. And I know they exist, but my algorithm is like, oh no, we got something. Your lineup is different. Now, this is my main gripe with Timothy Nash. It was the same gripe I had with Wesley Wells. Why are you refusing to either get Medicaid and Medicare and at least start to set yourself up? So that those things aren't a concern. You don't have to beg for food every day. You would have access to food. Or, which I think is more likely, you're lying to the people in your chat about whether you have them or not. And you don't want people to know you have it because you're afraid you'd get less cash. People would be like, well, you know how we do, Maggie. Use your food stamps. Why are you always in here asking for money for food and we know you get food stamps? I took on my... CJ, don't forget that we want to see the zebra G-string because that's what you promised. Now, remember when Wesley was like, I can't get it, I'm homeless, and then boom, he could get it. Boom, he could get it. He couldn't get in a shelter, and boom, he's in a shelter. So Wesley is in a shelter, he has food stamps, he has medical so that there's no problems. And what's Wesley doing? The exact same thing he was doing before. If not, he's more lazy because he doesn't have to worry about certain things. And this is what's crazy. If the shelter were to say to him, well, we've given you 90 days and there's been no improvement and they kick him out, he'll be right back to saying that the world screwed him over. But all he does is sit in a corner somewhere and take videos and go live and have these random sports questions and, you know, question or comments about idealism, you know, the whole thing. But you're not doing a single thing to change your circumstances. You are literally comfortable living where you are, and that's in the hole. You're in the hole, but you're comfortable there. Timothy Nash is the same way. Now, if you recall, he had a job. In order to have said job, he had to show ID and a social security card so that he could pay taxes. That wasn't that long ago. So where did those documents go? Because it is easy. He's like, oh, I have to go in and blah, blah, blah. Hold on, puzzle piece, guys. That's fine. But you can walk all the way to Walmart for a tent, though. You can walk all the way to Walmart. One way was like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You could go all the way to Walmart for that. But you can't walk to the DSS office? It's somebody else's responsibility? I don't want to hear it, Timothy. I don't. And he keeps saying that he's going to sign up for SSI or he's working on it. then do it. Then do it. What happened to the cancer drama? Oh, he still says that he has it. He's gotten off of all of his medication, and it is what it is. He's still saying he has it, but has no insurance. Has no insurance. All this time. And then when he's in a place of stability, all of a sudden something random happens that puts him back in the street without any support. Fact. She's a medical miracle. I will always be stuck on the overnight pad on his leg, sticky side down, after he supposedly had surgery. I don't want to hear about it. And you would think that at some point he would admit, like, yeah, that was kind of crazy, y'all. I was doing too much. But nope, he will still double down on it. What do y'all think? No. Mm-mm. He kind of went away for a little bit, but he's right back. And he kind of comes on, he stays on for a little while. He whines about all the things that he needs, all the assistance he isn't getting. Again, he showed his finger, which almost got chopped off. They were able to manage to stabilize it enough, but it got infected at one point because, according to him, he never went and got the medication to heal it from the inside out. So it got infected. He says he had to spend 2 days in the hospital. Now, granted, when there's an emergency, the hospital is going to bring you in. They're going to take care of you. And however much that bill is what it is. And they're going to hand you the bill. And you want me to believe that between all of the treatment he used to get, he says he's getting psych meds. You have to see a psychiatrist. Now, you can do it via telehealth, right? So I'm not saying he has to physically go somewhere. But he has to meet with a psychiatrist. He could get it from a PCP. I'm not going to say that he can't. But either way, he has to see a provider. Who's paying for that? But he comes to TikTok and says, my psych meds are at the pharmacy and I don't have the money to get them. So how are you paying for the appointments in order to get them prescribed? I would love for him to come in the box and answer my questions. Yeah, I bet he does. Yeah, that's what he claims. That's exactly what he claims. Anything, yeah, Stephanie, anything that prevents him from doing what he needs to do is what he's going to say and use so that he can get cash out of people. Last I heard is that he was still with this new girl, but now where he is 30 minutes away. I think that's why he runs, because of the warrants. And as long as he stays away, they're not going to chase him down like they are the guys who escaped from prison in New Orleans. I think they probably feel like he'll have an altercation with police at some point. Timothy will be watching. Oh yeah, there's no too low for him. None whatsoever. Okay, hold on. Where's my pen? Here's my pen. I gotta keep track of who I do. Okay, Tim, Sam, Wrench. Let's talk about her just because this is another one with every excuse under the sun. She now has an account that says something like, I starved to unaliving or something like that. Right. Thank you guys for remembering. Like the lie, fill the heart's tale. Correct, Stephanie. All of them are taken advantage of by people. Every single one. I didn't get my first check. They withhold it because of such and such. Oh, I didn't get my last check because I got written up and I didn't even do anything. Lisa cannot get food stamps because they were taken from her. And it's funny because sometimes when she claims she's starving, I want to put my finger and say, go get food stamps. And then I remember she can't get them. She lost them. But I'm sorry, nobody survives that long without any food or water and using rugs that much. No way. Heather, I know that under a traditional sense, she could get them even though she's homeless or because she's homeless, but I don't believe she can get them based on the reason why they take your food stamps away. It had to do with her son. So I don't think she can. She may be able to at some point. Right. But they didn't just take it away because she didn't fill out the redetermination. They were taking. Right. And so sometimes people don't get charged. So let's say this. Let's say they give you $5,000 worth of food stamps over and above what you should have gotten. And they consider it fraud because you should have reported your income. Think about how much money she's gotten off of this app. Right? They will make her wait until technically that money is returned before they will let her sign up again. Now, it's not that she actually pays it. Oh, you think she would have to pay it too, Alley Cat? I agree with you, Crystal. A lot of these people who have been relying on these benefits are now going to have to work to keep them. Children or not. You better find somewhere for them kids to go. Tracy, she's a lot of people's favorite because she will give them a show. But Lisa always reveals a little bit, especially when you just let her talk. Don't upset her. Don't send her anything crazy. Just let her talk. And listen. Don't worry about sending nasty messages. Don't worry about, you know, intercepting anything for her. Just listen. She already admits to lying all the time. But then she'll say, I'm not lying about this. But she'll often say, I'm not lying. I swear on such and such I'm not lying. And then a couple of weeks later come back and be like, yeah, I was lying, but such and such and such and such needed to get done. So which one is it? Are you lying now and telling the truth now about what you used to say, or are you still lying now to fit the narrative? There is no way someone hasn't eaten or drinking in the 6, 7, 8, 9 days that she says, and still standing, still walking, still making decisions. And no, it's not possible. It's not physically possible. She also said something that I thought was interesting. She said, you guys asked me to come on, and I'm on. Who's asking her to come on? And when does Lisa do anything for anybody else but herself? Who's asking you to do that? And are you doing it for money? So then who's sending you money? And if they're sending you money behind the scenes, why are you on here begging? Hold on, can you what? Could there be people behind the scenes sending her money to go on this entertainment? Exactly, Ellie Pop. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. If Lisa really hasn't gotten any money in all that time, her lives would be one crash out after another. There wouldn't be these gaps. She would be crashing out 24/7. She's going live for people so that they can see the show. And they're giving her money, asking her to go live so that other people can drag her. They can watch her be humiliated. It's all for the show. And when she crashes out, it's even better. They love it. I really wish people would stop just giving her money. Let her hit rock bottom. If she wasn't meeting demand, she wouldn't provide. Correct. And I mean, we've heard where people have come up to her and asked her if anything is in the pipe. We've heard where she's sitting there hoping to get the money, and her dealer is standing there just waiting for her to get it so that he can then, make the trade. We've heard her have someone else's CA, and the woman is terrified about getting home on time. And Lisa's in the live talking about, oh, I just renamed it. It's mine. It's my account. I just renamed it. Here it is. While the woman is practically running home because she didn't tell her man that she was going to be gone that long. Y'all make it make sense. It used to like hurt my feelings to watch what was going on. Now I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed because people are sending her money for no reason. Let's see who's else. Because she's not the only one. Lisa, I gotta do. Okay, let's do her because she isn't traditional in the sense of asking for money every day. She's more of a dry beggar. She's more of a listen to my horrible story and how bad I've been treated by my ex-husband and the system. And so help me, help me, help me. Where is it? Hold on. Let me show you something. These are Danielle's accounts. Oh, I did one double. I'm sorry. The 7,000 one, I did it twice. But so what? These are her accounts. I believe she has 4. I just picked up the wrong one. And they're all active. They're all active. Like literally, she will post something on every single one a couple of days ago. I agree. She's been doing this since 2021. Which account is it? Hold on. Which account is it? Let me see. No, let's go to the notes. Did I not write it down? I might not have written it down. You guys, take a screenshot. Oh, you know what? I think it's the Danielle Dominguez 38 account. But don't quote me on this, okay? Is a pin, it's a 3-part pin story at the top. So you don't have to go searching for it. If it's not in that one, look in another one. Where she is, I believe it happens in 2022. Wait, I had to have written it down because I remember 2022. Stella and Wednesdays. Okay, that's the account I don't have up here. She has another account called Danielle Dominguez. And the @ is Stella Wednesday's Only Mom. I believe that is the account. Let me go back to her page. To her thing. Because I have it up there. Stella Wednesday's Only Mom. I believe that's the account. If you go to the top and look at the pen, it's like something story time. She is recording herself with her children. Now, the baby, you can't really see the face, but the older child, you can. It's bedtime for them. Apparently, she's been in the house all day. And like I said, I believe this was from 2022. She had been in the house all day long. She was washing clothes, doing all sorts of things. Now it's bedtime. The youngest was supposed to go to sleep at 8. The oldest was supposed to go to sleep at 8:30. And Danielle is reading a bedtime story. And he the father, is clearly frustrated because he's like, you know, this is their bedtime. Why are you pushing it? This is why I don't want you here, because you never follow the rules. I cannot. So she told her children that she was recording it for the friends of the court so that they could understand how she was being treated when she was there to see the kids. Mind you, she had no, like, there was no specific, you have to let her come home and spend X amount of time with the kids. There was no order like that at the time. Why'd you post it on TikTok? What was your reason for posting it on TikTok? So that you could get a bunch of empathy, a bunch of women who have crazy baby daddies, and you thought you could get them to relate, so then you can make a platform and start asking people for money? When I tell you this girl lives in the year 2021, it's an understatement. She talks about nothing else unless it's a new way to show how badly she's been treated. It's disgusting. And she sits in her car and she crochets and she complains. And so I was like, well, okay, let's say every single thing you say is true. You know what I say all the time. Now what? Let's say it's all true. She talks about how she paid half of everything in that house, and now that he wants to sell it or is going to sell it, whatever the case may be, she wants 50% of the proceeds. And that if she had gotten that, then she'd be able to get an apartment and, you know, have a place for the kids to go and blah, blah, blah. You could do that. You could figure that out in the 4 years. You could have gotten a job, saved your money, and gotten enough money for the down payment for a home. It's annoying. And literally, the moment you start pressing her about, well, what are you going to do in the meantime, she ends the live and will sometimes go live on a different account. She wants absolutely no accountability. Nothing is ever her fault. So there go all of her ads. I'm sure she has a snark page on Reddit. I cannot believe that she wouldn't. Ooh. Okay, watch. Time to stand. Oh, she's back. No, I haven't discussed Becky yet. Becky's gonna be last. She has two Reddit. I believe it. I believe it. She's outrageous. She literally expects everything to get fixed according to the way she wants it, and that it's going to fall in her lap if she keeps talking about it on TikTok. That is literally how she expects it to go. And until it goes like that, she's going to sit on TikTok and complain about it. Should I have a whole rhyme with the last name to blame myself or stuff?
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Sorry, I'm going to be nervous because I've never done this before.
That's okay. I'm gentle. Don't worry.
Um, I run one of the Reddits on her.
Oh,
She's extremely mentally ill. She's bipolar schizophrenic. She's been in a mental institution 5 or 6 times. At this point, there's not even a point of going for her going to therapy because it's just an in-person argument like what you see.
right.
So unless she gets medication, she's it's probably not going to change.
I agree with you.
So there's not really any point to pay attention to her. It just fuels her, and her kids and her kid's father is they're like 30 minutes away. So people go on there and say things to her like he has a new family and new kids, and it just fuels her. She did throw rocks through the front window of her house
No, I'm
and got
sorry.
arrested. So, but she didn't get put in jail for that. She got put in jail because she didn't show up for the hearing. So they issued a warrant. So she was in jail for 90 days for that. So it's kind of dangerous to talk to her.
Oh yeah, I'm not suggesting that anybody have a conversation, but I am suggesting that people go see because um I like for people to be able to. I don't. Let me put it this way: I don't expect anybody to believe what I say because I say it.
Oh, I
This is
know.
why I put their at up there so that people can go see. Even if you just go watch a couple of her videos, you will understand the depth to the madness.
Hmm. It's really sad.
And I feel bad for her children.
Yep. She lost her complete custody. She didn't show up for that trial. So she keeps saying she lost custody due to um, what do you call it? Gardening.
Uh huh.
But that's not why she lost custody. She lost custody because she was mentally ill and she wouldn't take medication. And the court that she just went to, she tried to get custody again, and they said she had to get a medical evaluation and, if required, take medication, which all the places she went to said she needed medication, so she probably would have. And then she had to prove that she was taking the medication for a certain period of time. And then they had a whole plan set out where she could have contact with them, email through a therapist, and all this. And she said she wasn't interested in that. So, but she'll say it's because of weed that she lost them.
Right. And I think one of the reasons why she does that is because there are so many 420 friendly people that
Yes.
they're like, what do you mean? Like that shouldn't be the reason, and it's not the reason, and you could tell. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, people can watch from the outside. They can just watch her videos and see the depth of the madness. I'm not suggesting that people start engaging and calling her out or any of those things. I'm not suggesting that at all. But what I do suggest is that people go see so that they don't feel like they don't know what I'm talking about. Because
Right.
I don't expect anybody to believe what I say.
And she had a neighbor that lived across the street who her kids played with. And when she left, she went on a trip across the country. And that lady texted her just to let her know that her kids were fine. And so now she thinks that that lady was having an affair with her kid's father, and that they have kids together. And so
Oh God.
and she'll go on and threaten her, and she has a PPO out against her as well. So, and nobody can make her believe that it isn't true, even though her kid's father had a vasectomy. She still doesn't believe it.
Because she doesn't want to, it doesn't fit the narrative.
It doesn't go in her brain. Her brain's so messed up. The court told her that too. She just doesn't go in her brain the way her brain is. She's stuck
Wow.
in a loop.
She is. She's
Yeah.
literally stuck in 2021.
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. How can
You're
we
welcome.
support you? I'm not. I
Oh, I
can't
don't need
follow
your
you right
support.
now.
I don't need support. There's
No,
a
well, you do. Like, what's your Reddit?
um hold on, I'll look. Hello, are you still there?
Yep, sure
Oh, okay.
am.
Okay. There's a second one, but that one's not as well moderated, so there can be some negative comments on that one. But there are two.
So, what's yours?
The one that somebody just posted in your chat. It's the R Hattie Daring underscore TikTok.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can somebody pin that, please? Frog Poet.
Yep, that's the young lady that wrote the All About Danielle. That's very good.
Oh, I can't pin while it can't be pinned. Frog Poet, can you type it again? Yeah, I can't pin while somebody's in the box. Sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you, Granny Annie. Well, I appreciate, thank you. I appreciate you coming up and letting us know.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, now somebody pin it, please. Child, them rabbit holes on Reddit is something. Hey, Alley Cat, what's up?
Hi, I just wanted to say real quick that this is
Wait a minute. We can barely hear you, honey.
oh, can you hear me better?
Go ahead and try. I'll try to listen. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
It's really not that better, but go ahead.
I just wanted to say that there's a silent watcher with her daughter's name that's been listening to her now for about the past month, maybe a month and a half. And
Her daughter has been watching her?
it's just her daughter's name, Bella, but it's a
Oh.
silent watcher. She just comes in the door and doesn't interact at all. And then when the count drops and picks up to another one, it goes into the next account. I don't know if it's a daughter or not, but it's just Stella. And she says such a vile thing. And it's all about the father. So I don't know. If maybe if people could just report the account a little bit more, have it taken down.
Alley Cat, let me interrupt you. You're now starting to go in and out and we can't understand. Maybe go out and try to see if you can figure out what's going on. Maybe it's her
I'll
sister's
try.
daughter's niece has been watching her. Okay, thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alley Cat. I appreciate you coming up. Okay. All right. Her sister's daughter's her sister's daughter, her niece has been watching her. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And if I was her ex, I'd be saving some of those recordings in case we end up back in court. 110%. Because I'd be afraid to have her around my kids. Okay, this is going to be quick. Let me just tell y'all something. While Maggie is still getting money, she isn't getting as much money as she used to, as fast as she used to get it. Okay? I agree, Lauren Gray. She doesn't. Oh, no problem, Allie. You know, they don't get a hold of my earpieces, but my cats are a mess. They run the house. Okay, I changed the photo. Make sure everybody likes the live until they feel the heart's tail. Quick question. I will, Karina, but I don't have it set up for today. I'm sorry. I will. I don't have it set up for today. Um, if anybody has come here via the FYP, can you let me know? Just type FYP in the comments. I'm just interested to see. Hey, Lori Jess, Lauren Gray, Southern Rose. Well, I hope you enjoy what you hear. That's right, Sherry. Welcome in. I do what I call raising the consciousness different from how people normally do it, which is why I felt like there was a space for me to start doing this. I do it slightly different. What is Lisa Richards' new name, new account name? It was something like I'm starving or I'm gonna starve, something like that. Oh, hey, Toe Wife. Everybody is welcome. I appreciate you. Um, you'll hear me say "fill the heart's tail," and what that means is you tap until you see the heart, and you keep tapping, and then what I call the heart's tail, which would be like a rectangular box, shows up. Tap until you finish, and then take a break. I do not want you to break your fingers and not listen to the message because the message is the most important. And I only ask you to do it every time I change a photo. So that way you don't have to worry about doing it the whole time. I was in the shadows of Mama C's live. And do you know that the other day she required a galaxy to turn her comments back on? No, it used to be number of likes, like, oh, let's get to 12,000 likes in 1 minute, and then I'll turn the comments back on. This last time, it was a galaxy to get turned back on. That, hmm, I was upset about what she used to do in terms of her rage bait, but she's a monetized account, and now she can no longer do that. And she can no longer outright beg because she's a monetized account. So now it's, I'm going to get you by not allowing you to comment unless you give me what I want. It's only going to get worse. I can't stand Mama C because it started off with satire, but her satire was only about people who she felt were a lower class than her. She could have talked about her real life. And now that she can't use Rage Bait as in terms of her monetized account and still make money from TikTok, now it's go live and demand gifts. Okay, Mama C. Instead of coming off the list, you are now more on the list. I find that disgusting. And she loves the haters because she focuses on them 100% of the time. No, that's not Maggie. I'm talking about Mama C. But Maggie is just as bad. But Maggie doesn't ask for TikTok gifts. She will say, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it, thank you," but she wants money directly to her accounts. Well, not to her accounts, to other people's accounts, because she knows that um, Scammy Claus and other people have reached out to the agencies that she's getting money from and showed them the depth of her fraud. And so she keeps doing things that she thinks is going to protect her, like having the money go to somebody else. A, we watch you beg for it. You tell us how much and oftentimes what it is for. So we have the dollar amount. When the dollar amount, when the gifts, and you'll sometimes say like, "Thank you for the $5," and then she'll reduce the $5. So the recordings of your lives are a perfect layout for a forensic accountant to say, "Oh, she got $5 and it's going to CA belonging to Bonnie." I'm making that up, but Bonnie and her are so tight, and then they're able to look in Bonnie's Cash App, or I'm sorry, apps of cash, and say, "Okay, she got $5 at this time," and then when the whole amount is there, they get to see that Bonnie sent the 87 to Gabby. I mean to Maggie. Right. A forensic accountant would have a field day with her. But at one point, she was calling them tips. Tips for what? Oh, I got flagged for harassment and bullying. Oh, Maggie, you upset? It's okay, honey. It's okay. How is it harassment and bullying? Because I have her picture up here. Because this is my thing. She can be on TikTok and do it, right? Because last night, first it was 47. She must have gotten that. And because she said she had 3 gift goals last night. I didn't bother to stay for the third because there was other things going on. But she had 3 gift goals. The first was 47. The second was 87. And the 87 was so that she could go out last night, even though she had gone to the Roots picnic on Saturday that people paid for, that was at a minimum $250. Shout out to All for One for showing us that level of detail. And so you went out Saturday night and you went live from there. Again, a forensic accountant's dream. You show exactly where you go and what you do with the money. They would have a PowerPoint presentation in 15 minutes. If for some reason the live goes down, my backup is here. Hold on. CJ, can you pin the backup? If for some reason I go down, that's my backup. I will just go live there. It's very similar. It's the exact same profile photo. It just changed is shadow to expose. Because that's what I do too. I lurk in the shadows and then I expose what I see. So her and her people could get mad that I'm talking about her, but I don't care. If you can do it on the internet, then I can make commentary about what you do on the internet. And TikTok needs to get better at that. Because I didn't say anything mean about her. I didn't tease her. I didn't tease her looks. I strictly talked about what she did on this app and how I feel like she's struggling to get the money. Because bear this in mind. She has a GoFundMe that says that her lifelong dream is to meet Chris Brown. Now, he did get out of jail 4 days ago because he was locked up in the UK, and there was concerns about whether he would even be able to do the concerts because he was locked up longer than he thought he was going to be. But they worked it out. He paid like $6.9 million in bail to get out. So for that, he's able to perform his concert. However, she all of a sudden says now she doesn't want to see him because the tickets are too expensive. Let me tell you why I call cap on that. Because right after she came from a concert, it might have even been Vegas, when she came back from Vegas, her very, I shouldn't say her first, but one of her asks this year, early on, was to go see Beyonce. Beyonce tickets are equally as expensive, and it was for Cowboy Carter. It wasn't for an older concert. It was for Cowboy Carter, and it was supposed to be on the floor. And she wanted VIP tickets so that she could meet her in person. So why did Chris Brown all of a sudden become too expensive? I am of the opinion that it's because she knows she's not going to be able to get that money. So her asks aren't 1,000, 1,200, 1,300. Her asks are in the 200, 300 range as a maximum. And I think some people give her money because they feel like she wouldn't have the opportunity to have these experiences otherwise. And on that point, I understand. I felt like that for a little while too. Like, guys, you have the means, the knowledge, the ability. You've probably been going to concerts since you were young. She may not have had that opportunity. So I enjoy that she gets to enjoy things she wouldn't otherwise. But as I continued to watch, that opinion changed because there is a lack of humility, a lack of gratitude. Um, the arrogance and the entitlement is out of control. And what's so crazy is you don't even got to take my word for it. Ask her former mods how they feel. And there are a ton of them. Ask them how they feel. The moment they're not doing what she wants, she'll kick them, but she'll make up stories about them like crazy, like they stole my money. Well, if you stopped using other people's apps of cashing their cousins, you wouldn't have to worry about it being stolen. And I haven't verified this for myself, but according to All for One, the gifts are now on an 80-20 split where TikTok now keeps 80% and the person gets 20. Again, I haven't verified it for myself. I will be though. But when he said it, you know what it said to me? TikTok knows that people are going around them to get gifts and money. And so now it's like, well, if you're going to take my the cash, if you want to take away our ability to make money by utilizing gifts, we're going to up the split. Go do what you want. Yes, tap when I'm being reported. It does help. It lets TikTok know you can say what you want to say, but the people in here are enjoying the content. They value the content. And that's all I ask for. Just value. We love TikTok shop. That's funny. So, Maggie, whether people stop giving you money, which you have some loyalists, and they may continue, but whether that stops first or the investigation stops you, your end is coming, and I'm patiently waiting. I have no problem waiting patiently. It's going to happen. And I said it last night about Gabby. But remember when Kim said she wasn't leaving this app? If the court or an official agency tells you to, you'll be off the app too. So enjoy it while it lasts. Because I promise, if she was going to lose her Social Security over being on TikTok, she'll be off TikTok. And they may request that she be off all social medias. So she can't just fly to Instagram when TikTok gets too hot. But we'll be waiting in the shadows to see what happens. And what did she call me yesterday? She muted me for the whole live. She didn't call me a fan. What did she call me? And it wasn't a stalker, but it was something like that. And it's like it always cracks me up because on Mondays and Wednesdays I talk about 9 people unless there's a special, and then Fridays when I ever get to them it's 6 people. I can't stalk you. I can watch you for the minutes I can watch you, and then I go on to somebody else. There's no room for me to stalk. I don't have enough time. Oh Lord, it's Lori's birthday. Well, y'all be ready to be for one, because I ain't gonna be there. Now, oh, I did Danielle. Okay, what time is it? It's almost 8:30. Who can I do first? Let's do Detroit Nike. Now, I am doing him because this weekend has been unhinged. So let's start with he was begging for $50 to get his hair cut. Then he was asking for a bus ticket. And it didn't make sense to me. And while he was on said bus, he was begging for an Uber to get to where he had to go. Then on Sunday morning, he comes on to say, I missed Saturday night, but I'm going to include Saturday night in a second. Sunday morning, he comes on to ask or to tell everybody that he overslept and he missed his bus, and the bus will not give him a refund, and he doesn't have enough money to get home. That's what he tells us. Okay. So he then proceeds. to tell everybody that he did get a hotel the night before, because that's what he was begging for the night before. He had to wait one more night to catch the bus back to. He's in Indiana, right? I think he's in Indiana. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Because I thought he was always in Detroit, but he's in Indiana. I think it's Indiana. So he then goes and gets barbecue French fries, which I had never seen before, but I bet it's good. And I think mozzarella sticks and something else. I don't know. But he eats. He then, at some point, goes live from a McDonald's. And then after that, goes live from an amusement park and enjoys the rides at the amusement park. How did you have money to do that, but not money to get on the bus? Could somebody explain that to me? He also told people that when he got the money for the hotel, that he would go live from said hotel to prove to them that he spent the money on what he said he would. He never went live from the hotel. And there was a young lady who was like, dang, I thought I stayed up late because you said you were going to go live from the hotel. Based on what happened last night, I don't think there was a hotel the night before. My opinion. On the bus, yes, he was pulling out a Patron bottle. Like, I don't need a bottle. Look. And he literally was drinking it on the bus. So he enjoyed himself. And then he came on late last night. He was sitting, he claimed to be in a stranger's backyard where they parked their car. This random person gave him a blanket because it was cold outside, covered and gave him a blanket and told him that he could sit outside where they had a table and a chair so that he could beg for money to get another hotel room. This went on past midnight. Sir, your bus is at 1. Go to the bus station, get another Uber back to the bus station, buy the bus ticket, and go to sleep. Then I find out that the reason why he went all the way to Detroit was to get his hair cut. Now, I understand black men have an affinity for their barber. And if they find someone who does it the way they like, they hold on to them for dear life. Mr. Didi has a regular scheduled appointment on Monday, no matter what. Holiday, birthday, you name it, he is there faithfully. I'm sorry, guys, I'm reading the comments. And I shouldn't read the comments. So, at one point, somebody walks up on him. You could tell by his demeanor changing. And he paused the live immediately. And then when he came back, he was afraid people were going to be like, what was that? So he had somebody in the box. And he was like, is there a ghost in here? Like I hear somebody talking, but I can't see them. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Y'all can't hear me? Mind you, nobody said a single word. I'm gonna restart the live. He was playing in everybody's face and they were soaking it up. So he comes back and he knows to himself he looks ridiculous. He can barely contain his smile. Barely. Now, before that, people could say anything. People could talk junk. They could question his story. All of a sudden, it was like, mods, if if they're spamming the chat, if you see their name too many times, you can mute them for the live. Or if they're saying too much about such and such, you can mute them. Is it because you didn't want nobody to clock that tea that you was playing in everybody's face? You went all the way to Detroit for a haircut that you couldn't afford? $50? Now, granted, haircuts is that expensive now in a lot of black barbershops. It's ridiculous, but that's how much it costs. But you can't. If it, I am of the opinion that how dare you get a $50 haircut and need a bus ticket and need an Uber ride there and back, but you can't afford it. And he loves to say to people, oh, it's not my fault you can afford it. My supporters can afford it. But for so long. But for so long. You don't have a bunch of independently wealthy funders, sir. This is all coming from other people who have bills of their own. And at some point, the answer is going to have to be no. And guess what you get for saying no? He blocks you. You could have given him $1,000 over the last year, and the moment you can't afford it or something comes up, you're blocked. Now, something else he said during the day, there was a lot of question about whether or not he had been evicted from his apartment. The other thing he said while he was at the restaurant was that if he had been evicted from his apartment, he would have all of his stuff with him like he did when he was homeless before. He was like, I don't have all my stuff. Did anybody else hear him say that? Good morning. Did anybody else hear him say that? Because I did. So if he was evicted and he doesn't have all of his stuff, why would he leave without his things? Now, it could be that they told him that they would give him 30 days to get his stuff, all of the good jazz. But he never said that until he needed sympathy last night. But my question is this: if you are evicted, why are you going back? All your people are in Detroit. You said that multiple times. Why would you go back? Y'all gotta listen. Y'all, I eventually cut him off because he was still going well into the night. And even he said at one point, in a minute, it's not going to make a difference because it's already past midnight. And checkout would be 11 in the morning. Why didn't he go to the bus station and go to sleep? You have a blanket now. Right, Schindler. I don't think he's homeless at all. I think he's been collecting money all month for his rent. So when it was time to pay, he pays. But he uses the eviction, potential eviction, and all of that to keep people wrapped up and needing to help him in his story. If he can't afford that apartment, it is nobody else's responsibility to pay for it. Period. I don't dispute that he's in financial straits. I dispute all of the stories he tells to get money from people. He is incredibly mean. He's racist. He is filled with self-hate. He doesn't like black women who are primarily the ones who support him, which again, I don't understand. He is back in Detroit right now, but he's supposed to be getting on a bus at 1 o'clock today to go home. Okay, Granny Annie. But in other parts of the story, he was like, I'm homeless, guys. Y'all don't want to see me outside. Which one is it, sir? Are you homeless? Or did you just need a place to stay because you got kicked out? Correct, Sophia. He did have a ticket to return, and the bus station, because I looked it up, because I was like, airlines will usually let you just get another ticket for the next day or whatever. Buses aren't like that, especially you like there needed to have been a delay in the bus schedule, or something happened out of like you missed the bus. They don't just give you another ticket. He never went to court for the eviction. Somebody, okay, my email is digitaldeceivershadow@gmail.com. Can somebody email me the eviction paperwork? Because unless I see it for myself, I do not believe it. Jasmine, maybe Snow White of Florida. You may be referring to Jasmine, who used to lie and say he was a pregnant trans black woman. CJ, is Guardians of Valor here? Yeah, Granny, and he does that to me too because he has so many people blocked that he ends up unblocking people so that he can block new ones. And then when he sees us come in, we're stalkers of his and he'll reblock us. Is Guardians of Valor here? Okay. If they are not here, I will go on to Gabby. to give them a few more minutes. Now, let's be honest. We were all in a chokehold listening to that court case. When I tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed it, in fact, I'm going to watch it again on YouTube. So, this court case happened in January. Okay, Mama Bear, come up. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Wrench's name is Richard.
Okay.
And yesterday, Rev was in his live in the afternoon. I guess she's in the hospital. She's pregnant with his kid.
What?
Yeah. Because
Wow.
originally he was going to go, and she says, no, wait a minute, because it's going to take him like 45 minutes to walk to the hospital from where he's at to where she's at. And she said, hold on, let me text you. They were texting back and forth, and then he never went. And then he ended up getting off and said he was going to bed. But yeah, she was in there. I guess she's pregnant with his kid.
Wow. That makes it so much worse.
But yeah, I've been watching him nearly 9-10 months now. And I don't think he would be as bad as he is if it was not for all the trolls pushing him to drink.
I agree.
They were pushing him to destroy the hotel room yesterday. They
Correct.
wanted him to throw the chair through the window, throw the mattress off the balcony, to all kinds of stuff. He had bagged up all his beer bottles. He had everything bagged up and already ready to go down to the garbage. So the cops didn't tell him to clean the room. He already had it done. I watched his entire lives all day yesterday. I never sent him money. I only sent him a penny gift and a heart me, just so he didn't think I was a troll, so I could actually ask questions to get to know a little bit more.
Yeah. I
Right.
heard it with my own ears. The cops were like, clean this up and then pack up. And so whatever he cleaned and then went back in. And people, again, the trolls, were in his comments talking about, you don't need to clean up anything. You're not the maid and blah, blah, blah.
Right. But I'm going to send you a PM.
Okay.
Maybe we can do a video chat somehow. I don't know how to do it through TikTok, but I could give you my information or whatever. I
Okay.
do have a lot more stuff that I could actually say about him.
Perfect. Okay. Send me the private message. We'll figure it out.
All right, I will this
There's
afternoon when I get done
Instagram,
work at
all of that.
5.
Okay, no problem.
So, all right, everybody have a wonderful day,
You
and I got to
too.
get to work.
Have a great day today, and thank you for coming and watching.
All right, thank you for allowing me up. Have
No
a good day,
problem.
everybody.
You too. CJ, as soon as Guardians of Valor come in, let me know. Wait a minute. Kite Girl, who do you want to talk about? Okay, CJ. No problem. I see you want to come up, but who do you want to talk about? Kite Girl? Okay, I'm going to do Becky last. So, this is what I don't understand or what I find funny. And then I'll go through some of the details. So this case happened in January, I believe. Find Out just got the recording, which is legal. She was a member of the case. She gets a copy of what happened. And she's free to use it however she chooses. What I don't understand is why there was such a strong reaction from her mother and herself now. It's almost June. We're at the end of May, beginning of June. Why were they so upset about something that happened months ago unless they were worried that the court case was going to reveal who they really are? And then she puts out this PSA like, "Good morning, guys. I just want to explain what cyber stalking is and blah, 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 blah." Girl, you can say the word as many times as you would like. One judge after another has found that you have no proof and no evidence to come after the people you've been coming after. So let's talk about the tapes. First of all, she has an inflated view of her own abilities. And we know that because we sit here and watch her talk about and say things, and it's like, girl, go to legal aid. Find the organization that helps the poor. Because a lawyer, you are not. But she done watched enough TV, got a little bit of advice, and thinks I can defend myself. Okay. So she decides to do it. It's called pro se. She represented herself. And she knew a couple of words like objection, but didn't know that she had to form the basis of said objection in order for the judge to rule in her favor. She thought just saying the word was enough because that's what they show you on television. Oh, objection. But anybody who watched real court knows. Oh, I'm sorry. White Sox is dreaming, and he's sucking like he's drinking water or something. He's hilarious. So other times he's snoring. You never know with White Sox. So she says objection and thinks that's all she has to say, and that requires the lawyer to stop talking. He stops talking because he's waiting for the judge's ruling, not because your objection made sense. So she has her mother testify, and this is her problem. Her and her supporters have decided who they believe the trolls are, the people organizing against her. But then she goes after them and has no direct proof that it was them that did the thing she accused them of. She had no direct evidence to prove it. And this is the thing. The lawyer also made the statement that she had 5 more cases, I believe, with the court. You do realize that wasting the court's time is a crime. It's a crime. But wait, I'm sorry. I missed that pinned comment. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, she's the clam skin girl. Wait, as many times as she's been in court, you think she have listen. I watch a lot of court cases, and I still wouldn't defend myself because there are so many rules and regulations. But if you are seen abusing the court with frivolous lawsuits, you can get in trouble for that. And their attorney, who was Chef's Kiss, we need to know who he was because in the state of Florida, anytime I have a problem, I'm going to need to call his office. He was phenomenal. And he maintained his composure even though it was clear he was pissed off. Like he was sick and tired of it. And the judge kept giving her a shot because she doesn't want Gabby to be able to come back and blame her somehow. But it's always everybody else's fault for Gabby, so it's not going to matter. But she had her mom testify, and he was like, objection, and on whatever the foundation was. Gabby kept saying she had evidence, which, from what I gather, her evidence was like a video, right? Where somebody said something like, oh, I don't work. It'll be a video where someone's like, she doesn't work and she doesn't do anything, but she doesn't believe. They lied about what they said. But she provided no foundation to prove that the people. And so you've lost. You've lost before you even began. If you type in, come up on YouTube, and you can literally listen from beginning until end. I know on Find Out's account, she says a couple of things in the beginning. All you gotta wait is a couple seconds, and you can see the whole thing. There are actually people on TikTok who have posted clips of it on their on their TikTok channel. So her mother said a bunch of stuff, no problem. But when that lawyer got up and asked him some questions, at one point he actually said to the attorney, I don't want to answer any more questions. Is that something I could do? Sir, this isn't an interrogation by the police. Again, who is advising them? Because that doesn't happen. That doesn't make sense. And the lawyer was like, you want to plead the fifth? So then he had to answer some of the questions. And I'm not going to spoil it for all of you because I actually want y'all to listen. Because when all of these people say, oh, I'm going to sue you, oh, I'm going to take you to court, oh, I'm going to get my lawyer, they can do that. It doesn't mean that they have standing. It doesn't mean that they have grounds. It doesn't mean that they're going to be able to actually stop you. It means that we've gotten under their skin long enough to say something like that. So Aaron's testimony got washed away by the cross, by their attorneys. And then when it was their attorney's turn, he read Gabby and her husband the riot act. He talked about how she creates fake accounts to create fake drama. Like, she creates a fake account to talk about herself and then say, look, here are the trolls. He talked about the fact that she is an actress. And she said it's all for entertainment. And I heard somebody say something the other day. So your miscarriage was for entertainment? All those fights with your sister was for entertainment? She said for entertainment. And he made the point that she does it all so that she could get money, so that she can get paid. That's what this is all for. So if it's all for entertainment, why are you mad that people are talking about it? If it isn't true. Correct. If it's all for entertainment and it's not true, why do you care that people are talking about it? But you see, she was eager to claim one thing, not realizing that she's just exposed everything else. So is it all entertainment or is it not? He called her an actor. He even said during the court case that she was reading from a script when she was supposed to be, doing her opening testimony. And the judge was like, you can't read from a script. You can look at it to figure, like, to see almost like an outline of what you want to talk about, but you can't read it verbatim. And the lawyer for the two women she was bringing to court was like, because that's what she does, everything is an act. I was like, yo, the only thing I wished was that it was visual and not just a voice recording. I wished it was visual because it would be the poster child for everybody on this app that says they're going to come for you. And I'm going to tell you to sit back and relax. Unless you have actually done some of the things that were deplorable, it's too much. The highlight for me, though, was when he asked for lawyer fees. Ah! So you might have thought you saved money by not having a lawyer for yourself, but you're going to pay a lawyer. Correct, Lynn. You are 100% correct. Because the lawyer even said that he was working with the attorney general. Because remember, she has what, 4 more cases, 5 more cases in the state? And they are now investigating. And you are on your live after that court case, because remember, we didn't hear it when it happened in January. We're just hearing it now. So from January till now, nothing changed about her content, right? Except for it got worse. But she didn't clean up anything. She actually had another miscarriage, talked about problems with Cam, talks about her own mental health. But it was entertainment in January, right? That's what you said. Because you thought it was going to get you out of whatever hole you had dug for yourself. And I'm quoting a number that I'm not sure is true, but I believe somebody said the lawyer cost $28,000. Your TikTok money gonna have to stretch, girl. Because that SSI check is going to the attorney. I was like, she is dumb and dumber. She is dumb and there aren't two. She is dumb and dumber. And oh, let's just talk about the fact that the cease and desist letter that she was running around trying to send to everybody, it wasn't even from a legitimate law firm. And she had Aaron riding around thinking that she had gotten that from a legitimate law firm. And when he gets on the stand, the lawyer is like, did you speak to said attorney? And Aaron finally had to just be like, she told me that that was a lawyer, so why would I think any different? Because you're dealing with a manipulator. That's why you should have double checked. You're writing, and listen, I'm not mad for him writing for his wife. That's who he chose to be his life partner, even though they're not married yet. But that was your choice, sir. Sir. So then, as they're playing it, they played it at night and then they played it the following morning. And Gabby and her mother are crashing out. And what I loved was that she was like, keep my son's name out of your mouth. You keep your son in front of the camera, ma'am. Your lies and deception have been exposed. Okay, CJ, I am almost finished with her. And then you have a blowout fight with Aaron on live. So was that real or was that entertainment? Let me just ask that question off the rip. And then secondarily, he's basically said to you he is over TikTok, he is over this nonsense, and he's ready to go. And you tell him to go and you ask people on your TikTok live, does anybody want Aaron? Without Aaron, you gonna have to go back and live with your mama. How you gonna pay your bills? With you and a son. So you'll be back at your mama's house and you're like, does anybody want Aaron? Because in your mind, you're gonna keep the house and he's gonna keep paying. Girl, y'all aren't married? Correct. Thank you, Monica. I did find that out. It was private when I saw it, but it is Beach Babe Mama. Like you could hide from us. So y'all keep watching and listening. If you haven't heard the tapes, it is great listening. It is great listening because I even asked the question. She came in my live and was like, "You're gonna get in big trouble because she has some. There's something she's working on." I'm like, "Do y'all know what that is?" They were like, "Absolutely nothing. Figment of her imagination. She feels like she could come for everybody. Fresher breath. What is it? A breath of fresh air. So keep it up." Right, Sherry. It definitely shows you how not to act in court. Okay. Save the worst for last instead of the best for last. Let's get to it. Thank you, Guardians of Valor, for being here. I appreciate it because you have some very interesting and expert advice about what it means to have served your country. And first, let me say I appreciate you for doing so, and I appreciate you being willing to help the community understand who's real and who's not. Oh, thank you very much for the gifts. I changed the photos, so guys should be liking the live until you feel the heart's tail. So, the first, CJ, you want to come up first? Yes. Thank you for everybody who served. Thank you. CJ, you want to come first and set it all up? Or do you want me to just set it up? That's right. Tap, 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 tap. No, let him up. He's a busy. I'm going to talk about a lot of what she said. But we all know that just yesterday, she couldn't get her story straight with regards to her husband's service. In one sentence, it was 2 years, and another sentence, it was 2 weeks. She said she saw like award letters or whatever. I don't know what she saw, but what I said to her was, your husband knows you are inexperienced in this area, so he's telling you anything, and so we can't go by what you or him have said because we don't know where the truth is and where the lie is. But fortunate for us, we have Guardians of Valor who does his thing. So can you ask to come up, Guardians of Valor, so that you can enlighten everybody on the truth so we can stop with her lies. Oh, it is absolutely a losing battle. But part of the reason why I go in their lives and ask certain questions is to show the red flags. Either they are open and they try or they don't. And it is obvious she isn't open, nor is she going to try anything. Oh, there you are. There you go. I got you. I just sent you an invitation. Oh, they better be glad they got bananas because I was ready to go back in there and lose it. Good morning.
Good morning. Am I on or
You are on. Again, thank you very
excuse
much.
my lack of knowledge with going live, so I apologize.
Oh,
It's
you don't have to
not something I
apologize.
usually do.
And I appreciate you for doing it here. So, can
No
you
problem.
go through what you have found and what we all should know about it?
Well, I did find in an initial search there was a record for a David Allen Fortney, but it was very brief in the United States Army. I don't have a definitive discharge status, but I will probably soon. But when he stated he went to Fort Leonard Wood during his time in the service in '80s, that's not factual. Fort Leonard Wood was activated in '41 for World War II and then deactivated in '44. And then again, it was reactivated in '55 for the Korean War. Um, so basically, the '60s, '70s, and '80s, it was inactive for basic training, but it was still active for AIT training. In 2000, the Army added an additional 10 units and reactivated Fort Leonard Wood. So there seems to be some discrepancies that I have found, but I did put a call in this morning to the Department of Army to get clarification on the dates of basic training for Fort Leonard Wood. But I can pretty say confidently that this guy did not serve. Um,
Wow.
he claims he's got a medical discharge for pneumonia. From what I see, his time in, there's no way. I mean, he could have contracted pneumonia, was treated, but he would have been sent back to his training unit chronic, which means he had to have some type of respiratory illness prior to enlistment, and they wouldn't take you. Unless it was a wartime and they were desperate for soldiers, they won't take you with a respiratory illness. So I can safely say this guy is not a veteran.
Wow. So there's that lie right out the door.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have the official records by Wednesday. I suspect it's going to come back with an OTH discharge other than honorable. Um, He probably did something during boot camp or prior to that, but yeah, he never made it through boot camp or entered an AIT school. His name would be listed if it was, and it's not.
So 2 years isn't a possibility.
From what I see, no. But until I have the actual documents in my hand, I don't want to put any misinformation out there. But just by hearing him and listening to him and looking at his demeanor, he's not a veteran.
And so that would make sense why there was no VA benefits. There's no, veterans payments, which is why he's just on SSDI and SSI.
Yeah, there's not the VA system doesn't even have him listed anywhere.
Right.
Even if he was dishonorably discharged, or there would be a record of you in the VA system somewhere because you're still entitled to some benefits.
Right.
No matter what your discharge status is, there is a tier of benefits that you can qualify for. They're not much, but he's not listed anywhere in the VA system. There are some Fortneys, but there's no David Allens.
There you go, guys. And she wants to
I
see
will.
those down.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
When
go
his
ahead.
official records come back, I'll send you a copy to your email, and you can put
Perfect.
them up. I'll redact any sensitive information, and you can put them up. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. This guy's just a pathological liar.
Hmm. And like I said, for her, who I'm not sure, everything is the synapses may not be accurate upstairs for her, but it is easy for someone who has absolutely no idea how the military works to believe something like that. Because my first question was, where was his, what is it called, DD 214?
Yes.
That was my first question, but I didn't bother because if he had it, that would have been the first thing he said. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, here's my DD 214, or I have never mentioned that. It makes me think similar to Sean, where he's like he was in the military and his girlfriend was like, yeah, on his Xbox. Like they get in their
Yeah.
head that they're some sort of soldier, and they're not.
Yeah. Every time I've gone into that live and mentioned something about the VA, I was immediately muted, and that tells me everything I need to know.
Exactly right. Well, thank
I
you
mean,
for
if a
coming.
veteran is in your live offering you an avenue to qualify for some benefits or, to get some help, any true veteran would take that avenue, not mute, not mute you. And that's what he did, or her son did, or whoever.
I agree wholeheartedly. Well, thank you for coming up. Thank you for taking some of your time to spend with me. I am truly grateful because you can speak to something that is way out of my lane.
It's common sense with these people. They're gonna. There's so many on this app. I've wrote TikTok legal. That they've got to curve the stolen valor, but they're not going to, and they're going to keep popping up. It's a way to exploit sympathy and empathy out of people. I'm a disabled veteran. I mean, everybody uses that term, and but they can't back up their claims. What surprises me most is the people that fall for it and give them money.
Hmm.
It blows my mind.
Because they think they're
It's like
helping a veteran. When there's a veteran
it's
in
like
the
Pete.
town that could use the help.
Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with Peaceful Analogy. He was
Oh,
another
yeah.
one. He disabled Navy veteran with PTSD and amputation. He served 179 days.
Did he,
I mean, it's
was he
just
even deployed?
no. He didn't even make it out of school. He was
Right.
kicked out during his training in Pensacola Air Station. He graduated boot camp, and he thinks that he's a disabled veteran with PTSD and amputation. And amputation was he had surgery because his dog injured him.
But he leaves that part out to make it seem like he was injured while in the military, while
Yeah,
serving.
well, yeah, well, he's injured between the years now. But Corey, I give him credit though. He's smart because he studies and he knows certain phrases, certain analogy, and he's able to ward off the average person. But when we did a deep dive into him and posted his DD-214, he went ballistic, and
Oh, I bet.
we pretty much stopped his money. I mean, he maybe gets 3, 4 people in his life. That's it.
Oh yes, I was getting ready to go for him because he had a lot to say about me. And whenever I would go in, there was so few people. He would end and come back, end and come back, end and come back. And I was like, you know what? You're not even worth the energy. Go
No, he's
ahead.
not. And honestly, I wouldn't put too much effort into Fortney either. I mean, he's insignificant. I, I can say confidently the records are going to come back with, his status is he's not a veteran.
Well, I appreciate your work because you don't just do
No
it for
problem.
me.
Anytime. I appreciate it. If you have any questions in the future, reach out to me or have the Ghost of CJ reach out to me.
Absolutely. And if anybody's not following him, please follow him because
Yeah,
all of us
if
really
you do
affect.
follow me, be patient. TikTok is limited. The number of people I can follow back. I don't know why.
Oh,
They're
they
only
do that
allowing
to
me like
everybody.
10 a day.
That's everybody.
Okay.
That's everybody.
Yeah,
So don't.
yesterday I got like 400 followers, but I can only follow back 10. I don't
Yeah,
understand TikTok.
I know. I don't understand why they stop us at 10,000. Like, what's the point of that? That doesn't make sense to me. You can only follow back 10,000 people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a vile app. It really is. And, I'm just trying to curb some of the stolen valor, but for every one that we get rid of, 5 more pop up.
That's okay. You know what I say? We have to stay patient and consistent. And eventually, I think one of the reasons why TikTok doesn't care about stolen valor is because they don't care about how it makes United States citizens and veterans feel. They're not from here. When it was designed, it
No,
wasn't designed for just a US audience. It was designed for an international audience. So they don't care about our specific needs. So it's not a priority for them. But if we keep
it's a
pushing,
money issue too.
right, of course it is. Of course it is. Why do you think they tolerate the leases and everything else? That's why they tolerate them because they're making money.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better. So it's buckle up and make sure you got your helmet straps on and a mouthpiece in because it's going to get bumpy.
Oh, it is. As this economy continues to shift, people. I said to my partner the other day, we watch videos sometimes of people going in like the grocery store, Walmart, and trying to leave with items they haven't paid for. And I said it's going to get to the point where people aren't going to bother to go inside of Walmart. They're going to see an innocent person come walking out with their groceries, and they're just going to steal the basket, throw the groceries in the car, and just take off because then they don't have to worry about getting through metal detectors or cameras or any of that. They could just leave with the groceries. So I agree
Yeah,
with you.
it's
Buckle up. And if
and
so,
I receive a lot of hate on this app
why?
from people. Well, I'm just going to explain. A lot of people. I get a lot of messages. You're no veteran. You're this. You're that. And I answer them all the same. My page isn't about me. You know, I'm a private person. I keep my life private, and I do that for a reason.
Yep.
You know, the Stolen Valor Foundation was formed, to expose people that are financially gaining, not just on TikTok, but on Facebook, Instagram. So it's not about us or me as a person. So I don't put my military service out there because I have nothing to prove to anybody.
Exactly.
If I have to verify my service, I have no problem doing that. But, it's just a hateful app, you know. So, but when I created this, it wasn't for me. I'm not asking for money. I never ask for a dime. I don't do gifts. you know, what I do get in, from my monetization and stuff goes right to Tunnels for Towers or goes to the National Coalition of Homeless Veterans. I don't take a dime.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
but the hate is just, it's just part of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Anybody just coming
But
in?
anyways, I'm going to get out of here. So if once I get those documents on Wednesday, if you could just message me your email, I'll forward everything over to you, and you can post them up.
Okay, I definitely will. Thank you. And if you have too many
All right.
messages, send it to CJ.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Everybody have a great day, and if you could drop me, I'd appreciate it. I don't have a clue how to do that.
No problem. Again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys. So we're going to be able to prove and debunk that story with evidence. But I knew something was off when she said 2 weeks and then 2 years and then 2 weeks and then 2 years. Pick a lane, girl. Pick a lane. So let's go back in the notes real quick. Oh, by the way, because of what her husband, her son said yesterday, she obviously got bananaed, and I think that was the best thing that could have happened because I was ready to go in there and lose it. And I'm glad I couldn't so that I could calm down. Because what do you mean? Now, remember, when I talked to her the first day, she was like, I think that's a black girl. And everybody was like, what's the problem? And she was like, oh no, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Your son just exposed how you feel because instead of you looking at him and saying, absolutely not, you laughed. So that's how y'all roll in that house. What did she do? So let me show y'all a little something. This Becky Fortney 6 is the account she created when she got bananaed on Dog Mama 561. And so I put this little picture up here of her dog and it says my other account got banned. Please follow. But I don't know if you guys can really see it. But band was misspelled and please was misspelled. She could have saw that, fixed it, and posted it back up, but she didn't because she doesn't really care. Plain Jane, of course not, because they don't want anybody to actually know their business. Because once we know their business, we can pick it apart. So instead of dealing with her son, the first thing she did was create another account and tell everybody to follow her because her other account got bananas. Okay, your choice. But I also want you to notice Becky Fortney 15. Do you notice it says, here's my Venmo, Becky Fortney 11? If you guys want to send money for a birthday brunch. Now, that account has several videos where first she says, I wrote it down. The very first video, and it was October 2022. When she pretends like she doesn't know how TikTok works, she's a liar. She says she wants to battle so she can raise money to go out with her family for her birthday. And she says something about her mom is fighting stage 4, and then the video gets cut off. So remember yesterday when she was like, "Can somebody show me how to attach my PayPal so that I could get the money for my battles?" Girl, you've been doing this a long time. The second video on that account says she went from battling to I'm trying to raise money so I can take my family out for my birthday. My mother has stage 4 cancer. And if you noticed on Dog Mama, she has an Amazon wish list. Anybody new to this app doesn't start with that. You don't even know how to add it. And I even know, like me, if I had to attach an Amazon wish list, I wouldn't know how to do it. She's been on this app a long time. She's been begging for a long time. And as she said yesterday, I don't know if it was, I think it was to somebody else. I don't think it was to me. To say, someone asked her, I think it was after I said your son would want a better life. I think it was Sweet Sassy. Don't quote me. I don't really know. But they asked, like, do you like your life as it is? And she said yes. And she meant that. She's okay living off of government assistance and not going on vacation and not being able to go out to dinner. And she doesn't care about any of that because this is why. When you care about something and you can't get it, you get disappointed. And too many disappointments can lead to depression. So she's convinced her mind that she doesn't need those things, nor does she want those things. So then she gets to be happy in the misery because she expects nothing else. That is her life, and so let's love it. And that is the same attitude she is developing her children in, especially the older one, because he's the one that can make the decision to have a great life. You'll be streaming her videos today? Cool. So the first day I went in, because I honestly thought that she was like an innocent who found herself in a bad situation. And I tell y'all, I ask questions. And it's not to be nosy, like, I just want to know your business. But how you answer my questions determines if you're a bolo or a scammer. Period. So I may take you all around the world. And people will be like, why is she asking that? Or why is she digging in there? Because their answers tell me what I need to know very quickly if they are open to it. She tries to rewrite history. Let's be clear, because she was like, I want him to get a job. I said, but you told him that he didn't need to get a job and you're not going to kick him out. It's not the kick him out part that was the problem. It was saying he didn't need to get a job, so why would he? Oh, and that Eric Oberman, the lady who knew them, I don't know. She was in the same town as them. She said her children played with Eric Oberman's children. His charge is so disgusting. It's a good thing he's not on the app, because I would absolutely lose all of my marbles on him. And she even self admits that what he did was wrong. When she knew that Medicaid either reimbursed or paid for the ride, then it was, well, why would we do that if we have our own car? Because your car doesn't work. You don't have the gas. Then it was, well, my entire family needs to go. When you make the appointment and say that you need a ride, I'm sorry, when you make the appointment for the ride, not the appointment at the doctor, but the appointment for the ride, they will ask you, do you have any equipment that you need assistance with, and how many people are coming? If she said four, it would be, there would be room. And not only would she be dropped off, she would be picked up. Right. You would take it. She just wants people's money. That's the bottom line. She will say whatever, do whatever to get people's money. Right, Carmen. And also so they could partake of what does Timothy Nash calls it? The devil's lettuce. Beth calls it gardening supplies. They have money for that. And then I blew her out the water because I was like, so you mean to tell me the grandmother that helps all the time, according to you, wouldn't help her grandson get back and forth to work? Herbs, yeah, Karina, that's a good one. The green herb. She wouldn't pay for him to get back. Then it was, oh, well, she has expenses of her own. So then how is she able to help you, ma'am? You said out of your mouth that she helped y'all, and that, when it comes to the ride to the doctor, you have to wait for her to get her check so she can help you. I leave it to y'all to decide. But if I ever get in that box, her little precious son is going to get some words from me. And I'm going to suggest that he stay in that house. Because if he goes outside with that attitude, he may come across the wrong person who's going to beat his ass. Stay in the house. You need to stay in the house with your mama. But don't be out here making any kids. Because the last thing I need is another generation in that house spewing that nonsense. So stay in the house, sir. They stay in that echo chamber. And this is the thing. Racists love families like them because they feel abandoned by the system. and they're told black and brown and Asian and the other took your perfect life from you. If they weren't here, you'd be a millionaire. You'd be great without them being here. They're the reason you are below the poverty level. You're the reason you're on food stamps. And because they don't ever want to take accountability for why they are where they are, they love to hear that. See, it's not my fault. The others took it from us. Well, I showed y'all a video where that young man called somebody the N word and he ended up being hung up from his feet. People don't play that anymore. You can't get away with being outright racist. And for once, TikTok did the right thing. But this is the problem. She has already has another account. And at the time that I stopped looking, I think she was at 77 people, 78 people by the time I came live. Oh, it's at 80 something now? Yeah, because everybody's interested in her nonsense. I am too. But for all the ones where I showed you their acts and stuff, I'm just making a point. She's not new to TikTok. She knows exactly how it works. We are at the end. Are there any questions? Good morning.
Good morning, Digital. I to talk about the YouTube video
Of Gabby?
of David and Jonathan,
Who are they?
uh, Becky's husband
Oh,
and
oh, okay,
stepson.
okay, 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 okay. I thought
Yeah.
so. Is the baby named Carl?
The oldest in the house right now, his name is Carl.
Okay, okay.
Jonathan is the stepson, and it's David's son, and he lives in town.
Oh, okay. Isn't he? Didn't he go to jail or something?
He's got a record. People said he's got a record.
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear about it.
Well, this Facebook, I wanted to stream this video, but I would get bananaed immediately. It sums up this family pretty much. There's racism in it, there's violence in it. It's disgusting. They drew on his face. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the video yet.
I haven't.
I'm gonna have to send it to you because it's vile. It's really bad. I mean, David and Jonathan just start beating the crap out of each other. There's a lot of swearing, so I just can't post it or stream it because I will get bananaed.
Right.
But they David drew a member piece of a man on his son's face
What?
and a big X across his mouth with a Sharpie. And
And
it,
John just let him do it?
yeah, Becky, you can hear Becky in the background too.
No.
Becky was saying that he was gay, and I mean, it was all over the place.
Please send that to me because that's the kind of thing that informs me about people's true intentions. Like when you get them in their rawest form, where they don't care about who's looking. That's when you understand who people really are. Like
And this is posted on David's Facebook page, which I finally found the Facebook page.
what?
Yeah, and he's got everything. He went on there and made it private, so you can't see anything that Paradise was showing the other day.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I mean, Paradise already showed the Facebook where there's like hundreds of half naked women of random women that he has taken pictures from off the internet.
Wow. Y'all just, you never know. Ha! But when I tell you my spidey senses are usually right on, they are right on.
You are completely right on about it.
Wow. Well, thank you, Brady.
No problem. I'll be streaming her lives today so people can see all of the lives.
Okay, everybody go follow her. What time?
Probably in the next hour because there's hours of videos.
Okay. So it
It's
would
gonna be off and
only
on
be
all
like
day.
10:30 my time.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 8:30 here for me. I'm on the same time zone as Becky.
Oh, okay. She'll be on today. Well, she has to get to a certain number. I think they probably got bananas for like a week.
I can't believe Carl caught me and then went totally racist on me. I don't think he realizes I'm white too. So
Right, right. He was like, "We're just white, and white is always right," or something like that. And I was like, "What?"
he
I
was like,
couldn't
if
ask
you're
in the box fast enough.
he said if you're not white, it isn't right. What the
Right,
hell?
sir. On what planet? You need to go back to the 30s, 40s, and 50s, sir, if that's how you feel. Because we're past that now. It's 2025.
Exactly.
And the Asian comment. We are past that.
But I appreciate you for letting me up here. I just wanted to
Of
give the
course.
awareness about the Facebook page. I can try to post a video of the link or the picture of it so people can go and look at it, but I'll send you the link.
Okay, perfect. You're right, Tooth Fairy. I do have to be careful repeating that. You're right, you're right. Thank you.
I'm going to jump down into the comments, but I appreciate everything you're doing, Digital.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
I'm
Right.
going to get
Baby,
down.
join me in a minute. Do you know how to get down or do you want me to let you down?
Just let me down.
Okay, honey. No problem. So there we are, folks. We're at 9:40. I try to respect the mods, which they do outstanding work. I appreciate you guys. If you're not following my mods, follow them. If you have questions, I would say the first person to start with is CJ, but you can ask them too. We will have a live on Wednesday because I already have people to talk about. What is her? Oh, it was Bratty Goss. Bratty, can you say something so we can pin your name? But it was Bratty Goss. Yeah, there you go. Pin. So I hope you enjoyed this morning. I know I did. Y'all know I'll be lurking in the shadows. If I get a chance to talk to him, I will because I have no fear. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not mean, but I am to the point. And I will try to dig past the surface, like with the sun. Did you notice how she kept changing? First, first she said no one was hiring, and shout out to All for One because he showed her town and all of the available jobs. I shouldn't say he showed them all, but he showed a huge number of places hiring in their town. Now, does he qualify for them? I don't know. But there were a lot of jobs available. But so first nobody was hiring, but then it was he put in applications. So we're waiting to hear. So it's one or the other. Then it was, well, why don't you look for jobs outside of the area? And it was, it's too much money. He doesn't have gas in his car. And that's when I was like, Grandma wouldn't help with the gas. So let's move past that because that's BS. Then we find out he doesn't have a driver's license. So I'm like, okay, what does he need to get his driver's license? He needs this, that, and the third. And he needs a test. We go through all of that, and then it was he owes a fine. And she cracks me up because she tries to tell stories that make, so what? I don't care how he got the fine, where he got the fine, he has the fine. How much is it so we can get the fine paid? Right. You just changed the goalpost. So now it's about the fine. And when I say, well, how much is the fine? We don't know. How is he going to get to the point of being able to have a job? Because he has to show them ID, right? How can we get to that point so that he's available to work and has his documents to prove that he is who he is so he could start work if we got to go all the way back to paying a fine that we don't know the amount of? It's all BS. Whatever. I don't believe you at all. So again, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I'm going to go take my nap after I watch a little news. I am sure the scammers will be here. They will be live and on it. We will be here Wednesday morning. I'm hoping for some good news. And if I get it, we will be here on Friday. So thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys do. Make sure you hug your loved ones because tomorrow is not promised. Make sure you spend 15 minutes every day on self-care. And if you can't spend 15, start with 1 minute. Whether it's in the bathroom where you can lock the door, your bedroom where you can lock the door, your car outside before you go in, or if you have to park 5 minutes away to give yourself 5 minutes of peace. Do it every day. If you are not whole, you cannot love and help the ones around you. Absolutely, CJ, I will. And I am out. See you all on the streets or on Wednesday morning.